Here we are. Be one of those afternoons. Issues with IT, issues with, as I signed on to join you today, being asked for a whole new set of verification queries and other things which I just started to feel about. And I will be writing to Microsoft to tell them how I feel about it. Believe me, that is going to happen. But I'm just going to shake that off. It's a good one to practice, getting rid of that moment of tension. So that's what we do when we meet here for these mindful moments. It's always thinking about tension. Mine tends to be carried in my shoulders. You can often see that tension. So I'm letting that go now. And then we're going to have a mindful moment about making transitions and plans for the future work. So off we go. That's what we're doing today. Goodbye, IT. Off you go. Right. Start by just a little bit of relaxing. Bring in that mindful sense that you're developing. Look around the room. Notice something in front of you. After my moments of anxiety as to whether or not I was actually going to get here today to record this, I lit myself a candle. So I'm going to just look at that candle flame now. I have another behind me. I'm well sorted here with candle flames today. So I'm watching that. And I'm watching how it sputters and it moves in the air in the room. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Look around. It might be something that you can see, or it might be something that you can hear, that you can listen to. Notice. That's the key word that we have when we do these mindful moments. We're noticing what's around us. We're going out of the tension, out of any stress, out of even just a busy, preoccupied thought, and we're stepping out of that and we're starting to notice the world and what's around us. And usually that's just within 2 or 3 meters of us, and that's what we're doing. So relax your shoulders. Make sure that your throat's gently loose, that you've not got any tension here in your forehead, and make sure that you're in that place where you feel relaxed. Okay? And now we're going to focus and concentrate. So we're going to do absolutely. I'm going to tell you about today. It felt different today. The sun shone, which is strange. We've had so many dull, cloudy, dark days here recently. So the sun shone, and I could almost start to feel there might be a sense of spring, a sense of warmer days in the air. It was rather lovely that way. Went into the garden and heard a woodpecker. I didn't see the woodpecker, but I could hear it, and that was rather lovely. And then I'm sure I heard a lamb few fields away. It's that time of year, it's the middle of January, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, there are those signs of spring happening around in the locality. So think about a sky scene. Think about a blue sky with maybe a few clouds in it, or if you prefer it, a pearly grey sky that's luminous. Think of the sort of sky that you personally enjoy looking at when you close your eyes or you drift off into a daydream. What sort of skyscape are you going to create? So that's our first thing today. Have your own skyscape for the week ahead. And we're thinking about transitions and a little bit of change and how we do things in the future. And often people do that in January, and that's okay. There's all those ancient things about the Roman god Janus and how we look back to the past and how we look to the future, or our New Year wishes, or whatever we're doing there. But today, I'm making today into a day of change for me. I don't find dull, cloudy, wet days particularly inspiring. So today, with that little bit of a sense, a little bit of a hint of the spring and change, I'm making that into my day for inspired change today. So this is the activity, the exercise that I'm going to share with you for you to take away. The first thing involves finding something that's linked to something that you want to change. And I'm going to just reach over and get my computer. It's not that old. It's about 4 or 5 years old. It's used every day, sometimes from first thing in the morning through to the next day. I can almost feel as I'm talking to you that little bit of tension in my joint there and in my fingers. I write all the time, and I can feel that little bit of tension, almost a little bit of pain there. So I'm just going to wriggle those that little bit. That's for me. And when I feel the surface of my computer, my laptop, it feels cold. It's been in a cold room for the last couple of hours, and it's there. And that's what I'm going to change. It's something I want to build on. I'm not stopping writing. It's who I am. It's what I do. But I want to do it differently. So I'm reaching for some new objects now. I'm reaching for this, which is a pen here with its case. There it is. You'll see, looking at the screen, it's a very old pen. It's one of those fountain pens, cartridge pens. This one is a fountain pen. You'll see that in a minute. And so there we go, sharp nib. But yeah, lots of writing with that. I'm going to do more. And my second object's in this box. Take it out. Take the top of it. Doesn't smell of anything. Sometimes I put essential oil in them. I haven't with that one. And that's the ink that I used when I was writing our place cards for our daughter's wedding, for her wedding meal a couple of years ago. So there we are. Forgotten all about them. I just go to the computer, switch it on and write. But what am I going to change? I'm going to make sure that every week I'm going to do something which is writing with this pen here, just slowing down the pace, not a race, slow down the pace. I'm going to write with this pen here, and I'm going to do some of my mindful writing, started off using the ink pen. I may even put some essential oil of lavender or geranium and add it to the ink. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got my old object and I've got my new object, and there's a connection between them, and I'm building on something, and that's what I'm doing. And time for you to go off and do something very similar. Look around for something that you want to change and build on, and an object that links to that will remind you of that as you live through the week, and a connection. And I'm going to give you a word to think of. And I am in the middle of France today, and my word's a French word, but you'll know it because it's also an English word, and it's regard. 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 When you think of that word regard, think of it as more than seeing. Think of it as, I'm looking at something, I'm looking at where it is, I'm looking at the depth, I'm looking at the things around it, I'm looking at the colours, I'm looking at how it might feel, at the texture, and I'm looking further than just looking at it. I am regarding it. Regardons, regard. Okay, regard. That's our word. That's going to sum up where we're going. You're looking out for something that you can do that in-depth regard. Regard, look at. Okay, so thanks for the time spent here today. Imagine me now going off and very mindfully writing my email to complain to Microsoft about their systems. And so, yeah, when we're in those moments, it always does good to just step back and take that little bit of time. Hope to see you again soon. Next time I make another of these mindful pauses, mindful moments, and have a good few days. Bye.